This is the all-new Porsche 911 Targa from this new 992 generation. Citing the design from the original 1965 model, the Targa is still a design object and a special 911 derivative. By the way, please excuse us for these marketing BS video shots. Well, we don't have anything other available yet, but we do have still pictures where we can very well and clearly see the car. They are coming up very soon. Targa comes originally from the Italian language and means shield, referring to the overall safety bar that was originally installed. The reason behind this were US safety regulations, which literally make classic convertibles impossible to sell there, so manufacturers had to react. And before on-demand overall bars were developed, you needed fixed bars to still be allowed to offer open-top cars there. Nowadays it is not so much about the safety aspect, but rather about the design. But remember, we have experienced it many times during our tests, be it the previous 911 Targa or, for example, also a Mazda MX-5 RF. When opened, there are more wind turbulence in a Targa car than in a classic convertible. However, there will be a manual wind deflector available for the Targa, and Porsche is promising that they have worked on the open-air driving aerodynamics. We would like to test it, of course, very soon as possible. What people are seeking is maybe also a subjective feeling of having something above you or behind you to feel safer, and of course, the striking different look again. By the way, since the whole glass construction lifts up to be able to store the small soft top, it also reaches over the rear end of the vehicle. So there is an inbuilt warning system when you stand too close to an object behind you, and the process is being cancelled automatically. So the new Targa takes on the same basic elements of the new Porsche 992, this new 911 generation. LED headlamps, a wider front, actually 4.5 cm or 1.8 inches wider than the predecessor, then some retro elements, for example how the hood is being cut out, and a fancy new light strip at the rear. The roof construction of the Targa opens in 19 seconds, that's of course longer than it takes to open the convertible roof. Wheels come in 19-inch in the front, 20-inch in the rear for the Targa 4, and 20-inch in the front and 21-inch rear, optional, or standard for the 4S. Optional, you can also equip it with ceramic brakes. 3-liter 6-cylinder flat engine with 385 or 450 horsepower in the S model. Both models come with all-wheel drive, so they are called Targa 4 and Targa 4S. Acceleration figures to 100 km or 60 miles an hour are a little over 4 seconds and a little under 4 seconds, depending on the non-S or the S model. The Targa is 0.1 seconds slower than a normal coupe due to the added weight. As an alternative to the 8-speed PDK, you can also opt for a 7-speed manual gearbox in the Targa 4S, Porsche claims without extra price. But come on, actually that should be, hey, we are not selling the manual cheaper, isn't it? The PASM adaptive suspension comes as standard. The all-new 911 also introduced the wet mode, making it more subtle and safe to drive in rainy conditions, with drawn-back power input and increased traction management. However, the all-wheel drive should already help there. The 911 Targa also features torque vectoring and the rear differential lock, standard for the 4S, optional for the 4. Furthermore, you can order the rear axle steering for the Targa 4S. This increases agility and handling, especially at lower speeds. On top of that, you can add the PDCC, the anti-roll system. Not meant for the roof in this case, but for the suspension to remain upright in corners. And for assistance systems, there's now adaptive cruise control, which works in a predictive way, so taking map data and upcoming speed limits into account. The new 911 also gets an active lane keeping assist. And for approaching your basement garage, there's this feature known from the Turbo S that you can lift up your car in the front by 4 cm or 1.5 inches. The interior is now digitalized with screens for the instruments, except the central analog RPM meter, and on the right side you get a 10.9-inch touchscreen. German prices are at about 130,000 for the base Targa and 145,000 for the S model, by the way. Yeah, not cheap at all, but we recently seen the new 911 Turbo S. That is of course something more in price. So I would like to hear from you now actually. Is the Targa your design favorite from the 911 range overall? Has it been before and is it the same as for now? It does have something very unique with this, yeah, how can you say, with this accentuated bar running all over the vehicle. Definitely the most unique, the most special look. And of course, this whole glass construction in the rear. So it will always be something very unique. If it's the most practical one, you can say it combines the best of both worlds between coupe and the convertible, but you can also argue it combines the worst of both worlds. So let's discuss it in the comments, and thank you for tuning in to our first preview here.